I'm told that a child died out of that accident, and those were never. Second, the third one, Chief Mapiyeye, there was a woman whom he pushed, assaulted, and that woman opened the case, and subsequently IPID took the case from the city, and that woman was forced to withdraw the case, and she made a statement. The fourth one is about the rape case of the victim who requested to be interviewed by this commission. The rape case was opened in June, and Chief received a protection order. I think, I've forgotten the month, will indicate in our protection order against, because he was continuously going to the vicinity or to the area or to the place of this particular victim. She ended
Sorry
up,
to interject, you said June what year, please?
it's 20th, I'm not sure, we'll get the dates.
Okay.
But the victim will talk to the story herself. She continuously went to the area. But what is important in terms of defeating the ends of justice, and Chief working closely with some law enforcement agencies, that nothing happens to him. It is actually concerning that the rape case is opened and nothing happens to him. The poor victim is suffering and nothing is being said. In-state council is actually interested in ensuring that Chief is cleaned up.
So
The Chief is actually cleared from this thing,
Chief, yes.
because it was a battle for him to be suspended anyway. So my issue here is that if we have support from law enforcement agencies and from politicians, it means you are lucky. And lonely voices like ours, we do not get any support from anything.
now,
Just a moment. Dr. Mashazi, just so that I don't understand you. What is the purpose of this section of your statement?
The purpose
I'm
is
trying to make sense of it because you have been invited to this commission to respond to allegations made against the Ekurhuleni Metro and EMPD and the extent to which you played a role in all those things. And then there is this section in your statement, and I'm not criticizing you. It is your statement. For my benefit, I'm just trying to understand. Is the purpose of this section to say that we must not believe the people who gave evidence here because they are also bad people? They have done the things you have mentioned in the statement. I'm trying to understand what the purpose of this section of the affidavit is and what we as the commission should do with it. So if you can just assist me there, and it's not a criticism, it's just so that I understand why we are dealing with the things that are mentioned in this specific section.
the purpose, obviously, is to highlight the behavior of the Chief of Police. He came here as a victim, and I don't know whether he disclosed, because I was not listening to the commission, he disclosed that he was suspended for sexual harassment. I don't know if he disclosed that. So it's to bring to the attention of the commission that in as much as he is suspended or he appeared here and he made allegation, for me, he's an aggrieved person. He's an aggrieved person. And that's why I'm making this statement that an aggrieved person would say anything to tarnish one's reputation or legacy. That is the purpose of the paragraph.
Thank you. Now I understand.
But sorry.
yes, Commissioner.
Yeah. I mean, in the back of that answer where you say you're telling us all of this to show us he's an aggrieved person, but your evidence is nothing was done to him from these things that you list. He got away with it. He used your words, he used law enforcement, and he's got counsel protecting him. So according to your evidence or your testimony, he suffered no consequence for the list of things that you are giving, except the suspension in 2024, and we'll come to that. But you've listed a number of things where you say there was no consequence. So how are these evidence or proof of grievance, these things that you are listing in paragraph 50, how can they serve that purpose if there was no consequence to him?
I think we discussed the issue of consequence management from my side, and I've explained that my hands are tight or were tight because I've been blocked through and through to deal with him. The process of dealing with senior managers, it is in the Systems Act. Senior Managers Systems Act, I think, is Section 56 of the Municipal Systems Act, where you are required to get an investigation report or an allegation first. And I write the report to the municipal council with all the attachment to council, for council to take a decision, because he's appointed by council through Section 56. So my duty was to write the report to council with all the attachment, but by then I did not have attachment. Hence, it is viewed, which I accept, that I did nothing. But here, I'm trying to, as I answered Commissioner, that the purpose of this is to bring to the attention of the Commission that Chief came here to actually air his grievance more than anything.
Okay.
But he has a lot to answer. But it is not for this Commission to run a grievance process or to run a DC for individuals.
Yes. No, you are correct. It's not our place to run a DC, but you have put this stuff before us. So I think in fairness to you, we give you the opportunity to explain it where we don't understand. But also, I think in fairness to the people that you're naming, they need to know what it is you're saying about them. Which brings me to this. You say about 50.2, you say in 2014, he was involved in a motor vehicle collision where he drove drunk. At the time, you were the COO. Was this matter, as a Section 56 employee or appointment, the chief, was this brought to the attention of the council, and is there a record of it?
It was never brought to the attention of council.
Okay. And then you say there was another incident, again, drunken driving. What year was that? The second one?
I'm not sure. We'll get the information. As we said, we are going to substitute our statement.
I can still ask my question. Did you bring this second incident to the attention of the council as the city manager?
Of the council.
Yes.
Because I don't have the date, I don't want to respond much to that. We'll actually amend our statement, then that we can talk to that.
But you will remember surely sitting there whether you submitted a report to council or not. You may not remember date, but you would remember what you did about the first incident vis-a-vis council, what you did about the second incident. Surely that you must be able to remember.
Remember, accidents, they're reported, they're actually accident of police officers and brutality of police officers. It is the area of operation of IPID. IPID was supposed to do the investigation. And after the investigation, then, because he reports to me directly, they should give me a report and I should have done something about that. So if the report is not forthcoming from IPID, I cannot go to council with empty hands and say, Chief did 1, 2, 3. That's why I'm saying to you and pleading with you that let me get the full report and then we amend our statement.
Okay, I accept that, but can we at least agree that driving under the influence of alcohol and damaging council property is disciplinable conduct, which falls within the municipality's remit? You accept that?
2014, I was not the accounting officer.
Yes, the next
and
incident?
I agree with you that rests with the council.
Okay. And the next one is the incident where you say he pushed a woman who broke her arm or something and ended up laying a complaint, I think you said, about her. Did you report, did you do anything about that? It sounds again like disciplinable conduct. As his manager, did you do anything about it?
Yes, it was reported to council, and IPID quickly took the report that they're investigating the case. Same as the second one for rape. To date, we do not have a report from IPID.
Okay. So is it the position or is it your testimony that even conduct that on the face of it is disciplinable, is a misconduct in terms of the code of discipline and employment contracts, even that kind of conduct, you don't act on it until IPID tells you you must discipline. You wait for IPID.
No. Remember, the sexual harassment and pushing of that pregnant woman, it was part of my report to council for chief to be disciplined. Those two were part of my report. I did my job as an accounting officer.
And we should be able to get a copy of your report to council? Of
my report to council, yes. One of the reports is here for his suspension. So I think it's also important to get, I wanted to get my original item to the mayoral committee.
Yes.
To show the difference in terms of their decision and what I propose. Unfortunately, I can't get access to those documents.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just on that score, before we break for tea, you reference 4 cases. I'm correct that you say all of them were reported to IPID? No, the mic doesn't know when you're nodding your head, Dr. Mashazi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So my question simply is, perhaps to invite you in the supplementary affidavit or statement to provide further detail regarding specifically these 4 cases. And my interest in them lies in the fact that the IPID failed to act thereupon. So it assists if we have the detail, then we can follow up with IPID to determine why it is these matters were not acted upon, although they were formally brought to IPID's attention. Would you be able to do that for us in the supplementary statement?
We'll try if we get information from council.
And on that score, I don't know, sitting here, whether you are able to, or perhaps in a day or two after you've conferred with your attorneys, in regard to the request I have made, whether you are able to identify documentation that you would potentially need to address that request. And if your attorneys could furnish that to us ASAP, and we see if we can obtain the documents on your behalf from the city.
We'll try.
We'll try, okay. And please add on then to that list, if I understood correctly, following the engagement you just had with Commissioner Baloyi regarding the assault and the pushing of the pregnant lady that you say you specifically reported to council. So if you could try and recall the time in which that happened to narrow our search within the Ekurhuleni Council to try and locate the report that you made to council.
Yeah, we'll try and get the information.
Thank you. And perhaps if you could indicate to us by Wednesday the nature of the documents that you require so that we try and locate them, because your agreement with the chair is that your supplementary will come in by Monday next week. Okay. Chair, might this be an appropriate time for a tea adjournment? Thank you.
So,
yes, Commissioner.
Before we break for tea, Dr. Mashazi, just to close off this paragraph, in paragraph 50.1, you mention, and I think I would like to be clear what it is you are saying in your evidence. You mention Lieutenant Colonel Thepa as one of the people that Chief Mapiyeye referred to as his angels. You have also, in your explanation, said at some point she was put in to be one of your protectors by him. But it is in a paragraph where you speak about her. It's in a paragraph where you say Chief Mapiyeye had children with subordinates who were vulnerable to his abuse of power, including conduct amounting to sexual harassment, coercion, and rape. Just to be clear, from your evidence, are you saying that Colonel Thepa is one of the people that you refer to as subordinates that have had children with the chief, that have been the victims of his abuse of power, coercion, sexual harassment, and rape? Are you saying that about her?
I have explained that if you are called an angel, it means you are playing along. If you are not an angel, obviously you won't. If you are not called an angel, you will not play along with chief and agree to be abused,
Yeah.
sexually abused.
I think we have to go past innuendo. This is very damaging if it is not backed up by facts. I'm happy for you to say it's fact, what you are saying about her, and you will give us evidence that backs it up. We won't stop you doing that. But if you're relying on innuendo because she's called one of my angels, and you say, therefore, she must have had an improper relationship with him, that is not permissible. So I'm asking you a direct question. Do you say it as a fact
It's a
that
fact
Colonel
that
Thepa had an improper relationship with Chief Mapiyeye, and in particular, and maybe let me put it as specific as what I think you're suggesting, she had a sexual relationship with Chief Mapiyeye. Is that what you're saying?
exactly.
And you have evidence of that you will include in your supplementary statement?
Evidence of them having an affair. Did you ask for evidence from Xolani?
No.
No. Ma'am, did you ask evidence from Neza when he said, I have extramural activities with Mkhwanazi?
I'm asking you the question. You don't ask me questions. I ask you
Okay.
questions.
So I have no comment.
May I please speak? You are a witness. You have to allow me to speak, and I will give you the chance to answer. You make very serious statement about Colonel Thepa. I'm not speaking about anybody else at this point. I'm speaking about Colonel Thepa. You make a very serious allegation about her. And what I'm asking of you is, if you know as a fact, can we have it in your statement if it is a fact? Because Colonel Thepa will have to deal with this.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Colonel Thepa herself also, she said, I have a close relationship with Mkhwanazi. And I never, in the statement, you asking, or the commission asking them, that do you have evidence that I have a close relationship with Mkhwanazi?
Okay.
So it's the same answer, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for that answer.
Chair, before we stand down for tea, may I just ask one question to the witness? Dr. Mashazi, I understand, particularly with reference to your last answer, that it was suggested by one of the witnesses that you had a close relationship with Mr. Mkhwanazi. Do you equate that to a claim by you that a female member, subordinate, had a sexual relationship with their senior at work? Do you place those on par, those two claims?
I cannot comment on that.
No, you are the one making the statement, so I want to know whether are they the
But
same?
I don't want to comment on that, Commissioner. Thank you.
Okay.
For the record, Doctor, it was actually Commissioner Baloyi
Commissioner Baloyi.
who engaged Mr. Nqiza on the nature of the relationship. So I'm just saying, for the record, it should become clear that the statement did not just pass without engagement. Commissioner Baloyi engaged Mr. Nqiza to get an idea of what exactly the proximity, I think that's the word Mr. Nqiza used, what exactly he meant by proximity. So Mr. Nqiza was engaged on that issue, for the record. And also, a video was played in which Brigadier Mkhwanazi went so far as to say that he would die for you, he would take a bullet for you. So some evidence was led with regard to the nature of the quote-unquote proximity or the quote-unquote relationship, not suggesting a sexual relationship, improper relationship, or anything. So some objective evidence was led as to what in the end we will make of it. We will decide at the appropriate stage. So I'm just putting that on the record to make sure that you do not leave this commission saying that, as you were suggesting to Commissioner Baloyi, that there was no engagement at all with regard to the relationship that Mr. Nziza was